Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Good morning to all. Welcome to our second PU Computer Science online classes. In last class, we already completed the visibility mode. So, some of the visibility mode are, we can say, private, public, protected, and we already completed some of the role of visibility, which data going to inherit to the derived class, or which side feature, maybe the public side is it possible or private members is it possible. So like that we already completed in last class here all those important concept. Now after that, let's see the next important concept, that is called as the levels of inheritance. So we can say that your base class is there, and also one more class, derived class. So such a derived class extend its features by inheriting some and all the property from its base class. Correct no kya? Why? Because how we are going to construct the derived class, or how the derived class extending its features. That means such a derived class extending its features, maybe sometime inheriting maybe only the some feature from the base class, or maybe sometime whatever the features are there in base class, everything going to inherit by our derived class. So we can say that maybe sometime inheriting the sum or all the property from its base class, and also the derived class adding new additional feature of its own here. And finally we can say that while inheriting the derived class can sharing the properties from, that is from the only one class, more than one class, more than one level. So for what I said about this one, only one class, more than one class, more than one level, I said while inheriting the derived class can share the properties from to some classes here, that is called as the only one class, more than one class, more than one level here. So based on this relationship, the relationship is the only one class, maybe sometime more than one class it going to inherit the property to the derived class, or maybe sometime more than one level. So based on this relationship, the inheritance can be classified into 5 forms or 5 types. So what are the types are there in our inheritance? So some of the types are single inheritance, or we can say about our multi-level inheritance and multiple inheritance, yeah, hierarchical inheritance and the hybrid inheritance. So there are 5 relationship, that means there are 5 types are there in our inheritance. First one is the single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Now let's see what's the meaning about our single inheritance. So the meaning of the single inheritance, if a class is derived from a single base class, maybe when you are going to construct one new class, so how they constructing the new class here? Just by using one single base class, such class is called as the single inheritance. Clear this point here? So now just I completed the example of the single inheritance, that is the base class and the derived class. That means one base class is there, and by using one single base class we are constructing the new derived class. Now this is the example for our father is the base class and son is called as the derived class. How we constructed the derived class, that is called as the son here. That means such a such class is constructed by using single base class. The base class name is the father. So we can say that if a class is derived from a single base class, so this is called as the single inheritance. Okay. Now the second type we can say about our multi-level inheritance. Now what about the multi-level inheritance? Why? Because I already completed one simple diagram for our multi-level inheritance. So we can say that the classes can also be derived from the classes that are already derived. Clear? So just base class. First of all, we constructed the base class. By using the base class, we constructed the derived class 1. Now the third class, that is called as the derived class 2. How we constructed? By using the derived class 1 here, and also we constructed some other class, that is the derived class again by using the class derived class 2. Clear this point? So we can say that means the classes can also be derived from the classes that are already derived. Clear? So how we constructed the derived class 2 and derived class again here? We constructed the derived class 2 or maybe the derived class again. That means by using, first of all we constructed the base class. By using the base class we constructed the derived class 1, and such a derived class 2 constructed by using the derived class 1. So we can say that here the classes can also be derived from the classes that are already derived. Okay, and later next one, the example, the grandfather. Now this is the base class and the derived class is the father, and by using the father derived class we constructed one more class, derived class, that is called as the son. Clear this point here? Now if you are not using the son, that means it is called as the example of the single inheritance, but in a case you are using, that means here we can say that this is the derived class. Now son is constructed by using the father, that is called as the derived class. Okay, yeah. So this is called about our multi-level inheritance. Now let's see the third important type. The third important type is the multiple inheritance. Now what about the multiple inheritance? That means the meaning of the multiple inheritance, we can say that if a class is derived from more than one base class. Now how many base classes are there? Base class 1, base class 2, base class again. By using 3 base classes we constructed one new class, that is the derived class. Why? Because in our previous example by using base class we constructed the derived class, correct? No, one derived class, but in our second example, first of all the base class is there, later was we constructed by using the base class we constructed the derived class 1, and by using the derived class again some other derived classes we constructed, correct? Yeah. So this is about our multi-level. Now we are in the topic of the multiple inheritance. So how we constructing the derived class? That means if a class are derived from more than one base class. Okay. So if a class is derived from more than one base class, it is known as the multiple inheritance. Now the simple example we can write as the king, queen. So all these are the base class. Okay, king and queen, all these are the base classes here, and by using the king and queen we constructed one derived class. The name of the derived class is called as the twins. Okay, here. So this is the example for our multiple inheritance. Now let's see the next example. The next type is the hierarchical inheritance. So we can say that in our hierarchical inheritance, if a number of classes are derived from a single base class. See, when you are going to compare to our third point, that is the multiple inheritance, and to the fourth type, hierarchical inheritance, our our multiple inheritance, that means by using more base classes we constructing one derived class. But in case of the fourth point, that is called as the hierarchical inheritance, by using one single base class we are going to construct a number of the derived classes here. So we can say that if a number of class are derived, number of classes are derived from a single base class. Or for this we can give one example. Maybe here you can use as the management here, correct? No, the base class is the, if you are taking one example, so the base class if you are using as the management, then for the derived class by using the management, some of the classes we can construct, that is the principal, otherwise the staff, correct? No, here the staff, and also we can say about our office staff. In this case, this one is about our staff or the office staff, and also the group D members here or the group D staff. So we can give one simple example for our hierarchical inheritance. So clear this point here, hierarchical inheritance, that means by using one single base class we are going to construct a number of derived classes. So here base class here, derived class 1, derived class 2, derived class 3 organ we can use. So for this I used one simple example. For the base class I selected as the management, and for the derived class by using the base class we can construct some of the new classes like our maybe the principal, maybe the our staff here, okay here, and maybe we can say that the office staff here or the clerical staff, any class we can construct by using our base class. And later next one, the finally we can say that the final type of the inheritance, that is called as the hybrid inheritance. Now what about the hybrid inheritance? Why? Because this is the diagram about our hybrid inheritance. So we can say that the hybrid inheritance means the combination of multi-level and hierarchical inheritance. So hybrid, the meaning of the hybrid is the combination. So it is the combination of our multi-level inheritance, the multi-level inheritance and the hierarchical inheritance. So this is called as the hybrid inheritance. That means see, when you are going to check the diagram, the multi-level inheritance diagram, first one is the base class, second one is the, by using base class we constructing the first derived class, by using the derived class 1 we constructing derived class 2, and by using the derived class 2 we constructing one more derived class again here. And the hierarchical inheritance, that means one base class is there and we are going to construct a number of the derived classes. Now what about the hybrid inheritance? Hybrid inheritance means it is a combination of multi-level and hierarchical inheritance. So the base, and by using the base class we are constructing the derived class 1, and also we are constructing our derived class 2 here, and by using the derived class 1, derived class 2 we constructing the derived class n here. So this is the combination. So we can say that all these are the diagram that is suitable to our all type of inheritance. So the inheritance, so some of the types of the inheritance are single inheritance and multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance here, and hierarchical inheritance and the hybrid inheritance. Thank you.